This is different than my usual videos. Usually I keep it short and concise and from the kind of what my thoughts are. Today, it's more inside, wrote more detailed notes and brought in a paragraph of the talk of the Rebbe because it's as if it's being spoken today and I had to give over more inside than usual. If you would like a short version, I will post another video with a small lesson and my thoughts. So let's dive right in. Shabbos Bereishis. Shabbos Bereishis has an effect on the entire year. It's something that we know and learn, and the question is, why is that so? Yom Kippur is a special day. Rosh Hashanah, right? Rosh Hashanah, most of all, should be having an effect on the entire year. Why is it said that Shabbos Bereishis has an effect on the entire year? And it proceeds, the Rebbe proceeds to say, Shabbos Bereishis is the Shabbos between these special, lofty days and right into a month of no holidays. This gives us the ability to go from something above the mundane to something into the mundane with this transition of Shabbos Bereishis. So what is this transition? What is Shabbos Bereishis? Bereishis, this week's Parsha, Bereishis bara Elokim. And it's said, two explanations. The more detailed is Bereishis. For two things the world was created. There's two psukim the Rebbe gives, for the Torah and for Yisrael. The next question asked is, what about the simple explanation that it just means the creation of the world? What does one have to do with the other? And so now we begin to answer that. It's said that the world was desolate and dark, and then Hashem created light. And this is also including previous worlds that were created and Hashem destroyed them again and again until the creation of this world. What is the light? The light is the Torah and the Jewish people. The Jewish people is called the Bereishis of his wheat. Now wheat, as contrary to other things that we give gifts, wheat is all the same. We gather it and then we take of it apart. And the Tanya goes into detail explaining that the choosing of Bnei Yisrael is not in the neshama, because neshamas of Bnei Yisrael are different. And a choosing could only be between two things that are the same. True choice is only when things are the same. And it couldn't even be the physicality of a Jew, because the physicality of a Jew is different because of the Torah mitzvahs that a Jew does. And I think this is referring to, because we come down multiple times, we keep coming down, the physicality of a Jewish body is different than the physicality of a non-Jewish body. This is referring to the mundane, uses the word material of the Jew. The material, like just the material of the Jewish body. And the reason for this being so important is that when something is chosen, not because of a reason, it can never be argued away. It's said that the angels of the nations of the world came by Kriyas Yamsuf and said, the Jews serve idols and the non-Jews serve idols. What's the difference? And this was brought down that the difference is that it doesn't matter, because it is the material of a Jewish body that is what Hashem chose. It wasn't for any reasons. Which also gives us the backbone of realizing it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter what I think of myself. Hashem chose me for no reason at all. Okay. Then it says, Hashem looked into the Torah and created the world. And to continue the world, we look into the Torah and continue the world. the thing is that Torah is still above the world, kind of like Tishrei, right? It's not, doesn't deal with the actual things of the world. But the Jewish people are fully in the world. Kind of like that bridge, like Shabbos Bereishis being that bridge between the things above the world and then going into the world. And it says about Shabbos Bereishis, Yaakov holech l'darkei, which means that each man goes to his place, to be more elaborated on. Now we could say how these two explanations of Bereishis or Bereishis have to do with each other, because for them the world was created. Bereishis, the world was created, and Bereishis, it was created because of those two. It's all one and the same. It says that Noach found favor in the eyes of Hashem. Now, on Parshas Bereishis, on Shabbos Bereishis, we start reading Parshas Noach. We're going into the next week. Noach found favor in the eyes of Hashem. Favor is above reason. It's like choice. These are the children of Noach, and this brought tranquility in all the worlds, upper and lower. Just the children, just because that is what brings tranquility to Hashem. The whole world. Now, if we look at this whole thing, Bereishis and Bereishis, we know that now the whole world was created for the Jewish people, okay? Not because of a reason, because Hashem chose from his inner essence to do so. No strings attached. So if the whole world belongs to Hashem, he decided to give it to Bnei Yisrael. He decided to give Eretz Yisrael to Bnei Yisrael. Then the Rebbe goes on to say many different proofs that Hashem gave Eretz Yisrael to the Yidden, one of them being Lech Lecha Me'artzecha. Hashem tells Abraham to go from your birthland and I'm going to give you this inheritance. The whole world is created for the Jewish people. Wherever the Jews are, that's where the world prospers. It's because of the Jews that the world prospers. And the Rebbe brings different proofs of the Spanish Inquisition and the such. Even when Jewish people are in exile, nevertheless, the physical and material body of a Jew is first. It's chosen and first. I'm going to read that again. Even when Jewish people are in exile, nevertheless, the physical and material body of a Jew is first. I think as from Yidden, we're so knowledgeable in the idea of spirituality. This whole concept of material being so important to Hashem and being first, this is a new concept. The whole world is created for the Jewish people. Greatness of Gayim is dependent on the Yidden. It's what Hashem decides at each time. Another proof, Torah does not start with a commandment. Torah starts with the creation of the world, specifically Bereishis, with physicality, with the world. Again, showing us that the reason for the world is for the Jewish body. As weird as that sounds. And I'm going to talk about that more soon. Now, I had a thought, but I'm going to continue, okay? When the actions of the non-Jews are kind to us, it's only because Hashem wants them to. It's not like we have control over it, or if we act a certain way, they're going to be kinder, or, okay, we are the light unto the nations. That's another whole point. But it's whatever Hashem decides. Like, in the Holocaust, non-Jews hid Yidden. It's because Hashem decided. It's not because, they were so kind. They were so kind, and we do thank them. But ultimately, it's because Hashem decided. And lastly, the lessons that the Rebbe pulls from here is that our tools that we need to fight this battle and conquer our land is chitas, and mainly recognizing this virtue of the Jewish people, that Eretz Yisrael belongs to the Jews, and in addition, the 7 lands, Keni, Knizi, Kadmaini, and ends off with the bracha that it literally immediately on Shabbos Bereishis will be a year of wonders like Yetzias Mitzrayim, and immediately go into Parshas Nayach, which is tranquility, and then to Lech Lecha, which is the idea of going to you. And this is ultimately what I'm going to talk about. What does going to you mean? What is this whole idea of the material and physical of a Jewish body? But first, I want to just read this little paragraph that is telling us what just happened, or just telling us like that the Rebbe actually foresaw this. Furthermore, and mainly, it is simple understood that when speaking of Torah mitzvahs, it is not possible to say regarding it, do not enrage, and most certainly in our case, when the matter discussed in life threatening through returning parts of land as ruling in Shulchan Aruch, that non-Jews that invaded Jewish cities, if they came to murder, and even if they did not yet come, only they were on their way to go get them with weapons and desecrate the Shabbos, and regarding a city that is on the boundary, even if they are only attempting to take straw, we desecrate the Shabbos to fight them. Lest they conquer the city, from there it will be easy for them to conquer the land. So it's like, yeah, this week. So what does it mean that the physicality of a Jew, the material of a Jew is so important? Here is where we need to think and put our minds to, because this holds something that is the key to our truly owning Eretz Yisrael and truly owning ourselves into what the whole point of creation is about. A part of this is being able to fully own who we are. I'm saying this based on previous talks of the Rebbe that I've learned since Shavuos time last year. It's about taking all of who we are, our challenges, our things that we think are shameful, our material, our talents, everything about us, and turning that into treasures that then we contribute to the world in that way. It's utilizing every single aspect of the world for seeing the unity of Hashem. As from Yidden, we're so used to the idea of withholding ourselves from material, of not emphasizing physicality. And there's a reason for that, because if we are chasing physicality, then that's a God unto itself. But here's where the Jewish people come. The Jewish people are the light unto the nations. We are here to show how this world is God, how everything is godliness. And the only reason for darkness is for the light. Could you imagine? Many worlds were created only to be destroyed. And again, the world was created and only to be kept for Noach's children. The minority of this. Think about the world in relation to Eretz Yisrael. The world is humongous only for the small light. The world is humongous only for the small part of Israel, which we think of ourselves as, or we don't, but we may think, what am I? Who am I? What does it even matter? I could hide. And what this is coming to tell us is that we need to fully own ourselves. You matter. Your borders matter. You know exactly where you belong. You're because it's the material of our bodies that Hashem chose from his essence. It's the material of our bodies that tell us where we belong. And we are directed at each moment where we belong. In a way, we think, like, just push that aside. Like, what does it matter if I need a drink? What does it matter, my needs? What this is coming to say is that your physical body, your material body, is the light of Hashem, and it's going to direct you. And this seemingly insignificant thing is the most significant thing. And you got to own that and feel it strongly. I want to hear from all of you what you practically take from this. I know I posted yesterday about feeling in my body, even with not exposing myself to everything, it's still coming into my body, and how amazing it feels to move in nature or to allow the emotions through my body. And when I do that, there's a sense of peace and serenity within me. And I think every single one of us could feel that if we are able to stay in the material. This does not mean disassociating. The opposite. The emotions are in us, and we are not allowing it to sabotage us and make us give up on ourselves. That's the main thing here. The main thing here are all these beliefs that what do you really matter? And what the Rebbe is saying here is that those beliefs are not your beliefs. Those beliefs are all those people trying to get into your borders. You matter. And you matter so much, even though you're so small. And you got to own that. And you got to be that. And you got to fight for that. And you got to protect yourself from that. Thank you so much for listening. And the next video will be a short little synopsis of this. Take care. Have a wonderful, peaceful day. And I know we've heard that lots of things will be, lots of exposure is going to be like coming into the media and all that, of like, the darkness, trying to make our news feeds full of darkness. Well, that's why I made this super long video to make your news feed super full of light from the Rebbe. And mostly it's our channel from Hashem telling us through our Rebbe what to do. Have a great day.